Hi, everyone. This is Latanya Carmouche, your personal development life coach. I am here to empower you and provide you with helpful tips that will help you rewrite the script of your life. Today, we are continuing on our Unleashing Your Inner Voice through a 7-week journey of self-discovery. Self-discovery is the process of understanding who you are, what you stand for, and what you want out of life. In week 3, we are going to identify your values. So you already know what to do. Grab your pen, grab a journal, and let's get started. Having values plays a huge part in unleashing your inner voice through your on your journey of self-discovery, because it is what defines how you work and how you live. So ask yourself, what are your core values? What principles and what qualities do you find most important in your life? Your values are the things that you believe that's most important, and you apply it to your everyday life, in your life in general, how you work, how you treat others, how you exist. Your values should determine your priorities, and deep down, honestly, they are what you use to measure your life. These are things that your values is what you use to tell if you're living the life that you truly want to live. Now, when things that you do and the way that you behave aligns with your values, life is truly, life is good. Life appears good. You're satisfied, you're content, and things are going well. But when these things, the way that you're acting, the way you're behaving, the role that you're playing does not align with your values, then that's when things go wrong. That's when it can be, it brings on a feeling of unhappiness, right? Operating outside of your values is the source of unhappiness, right? And that's why making a conscious effort to identify your values is important. What do you value, right? Now, how does knowing your values help, right? How does it affect your daily life? Well, glad you asked. Values exist whether you recognize them or not. They are there. Life can be much easier when you acknowledge your values and when you make plans and decisions that honor them. If you value, let's say, family, but you have a job where you're working 70 hours a week, then you'll start to feel that internal stress and conflict, because I'm working to work, but this is not what I value the most. I value my family. I want to spend time with my family. And, things like that is what cause inner friction. And then you're not happy and you're not fulfilling, you're not living your true self. You're not unleashing your voice. You're not experiencing the life that you were created to experience. I say, for example, you don't like competition, right? But you work in a competitive field. You're not going to be happy in that environment. You won't be satisfied with your job. So that's why it's important to understand your values, and so that you can align yourself and put yourself in an environment and live the life that aligns with your values. When you know your own values, you can use them to make decisions on how you live, and you can answer questions like, well, what job should I pursue? Right? Should I accept this promotion? Can I take on more work? Do I value this? Do I value this work, work at this level, right? Should I start my own business? Are you really going to put your all in all into your own business? Is that where your value is? Should I compromise? Sometimes there's life is about compromising, right? Meaning, what if, yeah, I value my family, but should I stay an extra 30 minutes over today? Well, nothing's really happening with my family tonight. There's no recitals, there's no parties to attend, there's no homework is done. Yeah, I can compromise and do 30 minutes today, not every day. So ask yourself, when you know your values, should you compromise or should you be firm? My child has a piano recital tonight. I can absolutely not stay past 5 o'clock and leave, right? When you know your values, you know how to act and you know how to be true to your authentic self. You can ask yourself, when you know your values, should I follow tradition or should I start a new journey, right? Start my own path. Whatever your tradition is, your cultural tradition, family tradition, whatever it is, are you doing it just because it's what we do? Or are you doing it because that's what you value? And it's okay. It's okay to be the tradition breaker. You don't have to be what great great granny did because great great granny did it and great granny did it and grandma did it, mama did it. You don't have to follow that path if that's not what you value. So ask yourself, what is it that you value? Don't let society and expectations determine who you are. We are on a journey to unleashing our inner voice. This is self-discovery, our discovery. So take the time to understand the real priorities in your life, and you'll be able to determine the best direction and your life's goals. Now, values can change. So ask yourself, in this season, what do I value? In your 20s, maybe you valued making money. So you were working the 80-hour weeks. You were working the 16-hour days. That's what you valued. That's what you wanted. And now that you're in your 30s or your 40s and you started a family, or you found yourself to have a passion for something else you want to pursue, you want to learn how to play the piano now, whatever, that's what you value. Change, right? It's okay to change. Ignore the naysayers. Ignore the people who, well, you started this. Well, that's who I was then. This is who I am now. And live your life aligned with what you value. You have that right. So to get started on your values, let's make a list. Let's start. Number your paper 1 through 15, right? And you're going to list some values that resonate with you. And this is going to help you then pinpoint what are your values. So some of the values may include like creativity, loyalty, spirituality, humility, compassion, kindness, honesty, integrity, selflessness. There's like a whole list. What do you value? What do you require of yourself? And what do you require from those around you? And then after you write that down, let's just say 15, you can write down as many as you want, but we're going to narrow that down to our top 5. Now, my personal top 5 is integrity, right? Number 1 is integrity. Be honest and keep your word with me, period. No matter what it is, good or bad, be honest. I require accountability. Be responsible and take account for your actions. I need to be able to count on you because you certainly can count on me. That's a value that I have, a top value. Don't be a flake, right? What we used to say in the 80s, word is bond. Keep your word. Diligence. Be persistent in your efforts. Exhaust all resources at all times, right? Because I'm going to do it. And this is what I require. This is what I value. I value someone who's going to, do their due diligence, right? Don't just, well, I made a phone call and no one answered, and that's the end. What did you call? Did you call again? Did you text? Did you email? Did you stop by? Do your due diligence. Don't just be a quick quitter. Perseverance. Perseverance for me is really high on the level. Be persistent, right? And have tenacity to keep working towards something, right? Even till the end, even if it's uncomfortable. You give your word, this is what we're going to do for the next 3 days. Let's do it for the next 3 days, right? Spirituality, right? It's high on the list. You have to understand and acknowledge that there is a God, right? I call him Jesus. We have to focus that. We have to know, or as high for me, a value is to know that we can't do anything on our own, right? So just ask yourself, what do you find to be your top 5 values? What do you value the most? And then use that as your ethical compass to make decisions aligned with who you truly are. Now, if you're still struggling to define your values, then here's some quick steps to help you along the way, right? Because I want everything, but is this the life that you are living? Is this how you're living? So the most important thing when you're defining your values is to ask yourself what's truly important to you, right? Look back on your life. Identify when you really felt good and really felt confident in the choices that you were making. Write down a time that you were the happiest. Find examples from both your career life, and your personal life. And then this will ensure balance, right? Do you require something, a value from this area, not this area? Do you require all around, right? Your values do apply to both personal and professional life. This will give you a balance, right? So ask yourself, when were you happiest? What were you doing? Who were the people you were with? Who was around you? What was happening that made you happy? Next, identify times when you were most proud. Use examples from, again, your career and your personal life. Why were you proud? Did other people share in your pride? Who shared in your pride? And then what other things contributed to your feelings of pride? Next, you want to identify the times when you felt most fulfilled and satisfied. Again, career life, personal life. What need or desire was fulfilled? How did that experience and why did that experience give your life meaning? What other factors contributed to the feelings of your fulfillment? Determine your top 5 values based on experiences of happiness, pride, and fulfillment. Now, why is each experience important and memorable? Write it down. Why? Why was it? Why was it important and memorable? And then use that list of common personal values to help you then get started and aim for your top 5. Now, as you work through this, you may find that some of these are natural to combine. So, for example, if you say that you value philanthropy, you value community, and you value generosity, then you can just say that service to others is one value, right? Because service to others encompass those 3 things. Next, you want to prioritize your top values, right? This is determining what do you value the most. So write down your top 5 in no particular order, right? And then look at the first 2 and then ask yourself, if I could only have one of these values, which one would I choose? And then move that one up and then keep doing that same process down the line, right? And that's how you get your top 5, right? And then put yourself in situations where, say, for example, you have a value of stability, right? You like to be stability, and then you also have a value of service to others. Ask yourself, if you had to sell your house, right, and move to another country to do work, valuable work in this foreign country, would you keep your house and not go volunteer and just volunteer closer to home, right? You still can volunteer, but just closer to home. Or would you get rid of stability, get rid of the house, and go to the foreign country to help, right? So just put yourself in scenarios. If you're stuck toggling between which one of these is my top value, then create a scenario in your head that will help you determine, right? And then just keep working through the list and comparing the level of value to each one until you get your top 5. Next, you want to make sure that you're living your life in a manner that aligns with your values. You want to ask yourself, do these values fit in with your life and the vision that you have for yourself? Do the values make you feel good about yourself? Are you proud of these top 5 values, right? Would you be comfortable to tell your values to people outside of you? Would you be proud to say, you know what, this is what I value the most, and tell others about that? Tell others that you admire about that, not just everyone, right? Do the values represent the things that you support, right? Even if your choice isn't popular and it puts you in a minority, do you still stick with that? I value, like I said, service in a foreign country. So you sell everything you have and you move to Turkey to go and be of service in Turkey, and everyone around you is asking, why are you doing that? That makes no sense. Are you strong enough in that value to say, I'm going to do it anyhow? When you consider your values and decision making, you can be sure to keep your sense of integrity and what you know is right. You're doing what you value is because you're doing it because you know it's right, right? It's right for you. It's right in your world, right? In your moral compass, this is the right thing to do. And then this will allow you to approach decisions with confidence and clarity. You'll be able to know what it is that you're doing is best for your current situation for your future happiness and satisfaction, and it will allow you to feel freer in life, right? Because you're doing, not because you're forced, you're doing what you're doing. You're behaving the way you're behaving because this is a value that you respect, that you embrace, and you know that you're living true to yourself. This is what I believe in, this is what I stand for, and this is what I'm going to do. Now, when you do this, know that it may not always be easy, but when you make the right choice for you, it's going to make life less difficult in the long run. It'll benefit you more in the long run, in the long run, right? In the future. It's a journey, you guys. It's a journey, and there's things that we may have to change, right? I've always valued, whatever it is that you value, and no one else values that, or they value it, but it's not a necessity for them. And you're standing strong and firm on this. It'll allow you to feel free. You don't have to conform. You're unleashing your inner voice. This is your journey. This is what you stand for. And you'll be able to sleep better at night because you have been true to yourself. The journey to self-discovery requires looking inward and exploring your inner depths. By investing this time, you begin to know yourself more completely, and then you can live your life in greater alignment and fulfillment and authentic self-expression. You will unlock your hidden potential and set free your inner voice. This amazing life that you've always imagined is waiting for you on the other side of self-discovery. For more details about this topic and to read some of our other blogs, be sure to visit us at ltce.info. I'll see you next time. Be sure to like, comment, and tell a friend.